Hello everyone, welcome back. And today's topic is why don't tech companies pay their engineers to stay? First off, let me tell you about what I do here. What we do here is talk about code, software engineering, programming, and all things tech. So if you're new here, make sure you guys subscribe. If this is on LinkedIn, make sure you follow me. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. So I thought this was an interesting article from 2021 that just popped up on my feed here on my TLDR, and I wanted to kind of expand on it. So the topic is why don't tech companies pay their engineers to stay? Now I think this is something that's highly relevant in today's competitive tech landscape, right? And I just kind of wanted to just dive deeper in on this topic. As always, leave a comment below if you want to share your thoughts. Yeah, everyone is welcome. So the problem: engineers aren't paid to stay, right? Let's kind of go deep on that. So underpayment for expertise. So many tech companies focus on attracting fresh talent with competitive offers, but once engineers settle in and build institutional knowledge, their salaries often don't keep pace with their increasing value to the company. And over time, these engineers accumulate immense expertise, not just in technical skills, but because you're spending time with just one company, you're also understanding the company's code base, architecture, and internal processes. So, however, they often find that their compensation doesn't reflect their deepening contribution, and I think this is something quite common. Now, as far as turnover and attrition, I think that engineers frequently feel that their salary stagnates after a few years despite their growing impact, and this can lead to high turnover, where experienced engineers will leave for better paying opportunities elsewhere. This is a costly problem for companies. The loss of seasoned engineers means the company loses not just technical skills, but also institutional memory, which can negatively impact productivity and innovation. I think this is one of the reasons why pair programming was initially introduced, to reduce the impact when you lose a seasoned engineer. Is the goal is that you have if they're pair programming accordingly, then that seasoned engineer would have transferred enough knowledge to that other person to where there's not so much of an impact. That's my thinking, at least. I could be wrong there. Now, so why do companies fail to compensate long-term engineers? um let's see. Could it be a short-term financial focus? Now, many companies prioritize short-term savings over long-term retention. They assume hiring new engineers at competitive starting salaries would be more cost effective than continually increasing pay for existing employees. Now, this makes sense for me from a company perspective. The assumption that hiring new engineers at a competitive starting salary will be more cost effective than continually increasing pay for existing employees. Now, I mean, I guess it makes sense in a way, but then at the same time, this doesn't make sense to me, right? Because this person still has to come in and learn the internal processes. They have to learn the company. They have to learn the code base, right? There's always that context. So, but however, this short-term mindset doesn't account for the time and money spent on recruiting, onboarding, and training new hires. Also, and these costs can exceed the cost of retaining senior engineers often. So, number two, promotion-centric pay increases. It could be another reason, right? So in many companies, significant salary increases only come with promotions. However, promotions typically focus on managerial or leadership roles, not technical excellence. So this leaves highly skilled engineers stuck in a position where they have to either move into management, losing focus on their craft, or remain in their role without adequate pay progression. Now, this is something I made a video about, a few weeks ago here. I think the title was why senior engineers often leave their roles or something like that. I'll link it up. But this is very true. Because you kind of get stuck into a position where some people don't like managing people. They just like kind of dealing with code and dealing with the tech. And the people management portion can just add a whole another layer of stress, in my opinion. And this model overlooks the fact that impact can increase even without moving into a managerial position, right? So, um, The third reason could be market rate versus retention rate. So when engineers leave, companies often hire replacements at higher salaries to match current market rates. Ironically, this can lead to new hires earning more than tenured engineers who trained them. A pay-to-poach approach dominates the industry. Companies will shell out top dollar to lure talent from competitors, but neglect to reward their own seasoned employees with competitive raises. And like I said, I mean, I think these reasons pretty much lay out why the industry is the way it is. Why, you know, mostly only seniors get job offers. I mean, this just lays it out. I mean, does it seem broken to me? Yes. But maybe this video is a spark of a conversation of how we can kind of maybe improve that. So let's take a look. So what are potential solutions to this, right? So what if we had maybe an impact-based compensation structure in this industry, right? So an impact-based compensation structure that was based on measuring contributions, retention of key talent, and avoiding attrition costs. So these would be kind of the three key areas that will focus on, right? This structure. So measuring contributions, this will focus on, rather than simply increasing pay based on tenure, compensation should be linked to an engineer's contribution to the company. So factors like complexity of problem solved, influence on product direction, and mentoring junior engineers could be used to determine salary progression. This approach ensures that engineers are rewarded for their tangible impact on the company's success, not just for sticking around. Number two, retention of key talent. So by offering competitive raises based on impact, companies could retain their best engineers. Engineers who feel valued and compensated fairly for their work are far more likely to stay, reducing turnover and the associated cost. So avoiding attrition costs is the last one here. So when experienced engineers leave, the company loses not only their technical abilities, but also their deep knowledge of the company's systems and culture, right? Because that's a seasoned engineer. Offering better pay based on contributions helps prevent this attrition and keeps the company's technical backbone intact, which is important. And I don't want to make this video too long, but let's make the case for the business case for paying engineers more, right? So the cost of hiring, it can take months to replace an experienced engineer, during which time projects slow down and team productivity drops. By paying engineers more to stay, companies can avoid the costly cycle of attrition and recruitment. Boosting innovation. Engineers with long tenure possess unique insights into the company's product and goals. Rewarding them for their contribution fosters a culture of innovation where experienced team members are more likely to push boundaries and solve critical issues. And also improving morale, right? So fair compensation based on impact just improves overall team morale. Engineers feel appreciated, which leads to greater job satisfaction, higher engagement, and increased loyalty to the company. Now, that pretty much wraps up this video. The key takeaways here are the current compensation models are pretty much failing. I mean, I think tech companies often neglect to adequately pay engineers with long tenures, leading to high turnover and loss of critical knowledge. Now, number two is impact-based pay. Now, a model where compensation is tied to the engineer's contribution rather than tenure or promotion could keep skilled engineers on board and incentivize them to stay, right? And also business benefits. Paying engineers more to stay results in fewer costly turnovers, improved productivity, and sustained innovation. And more importantly, it just makes common sense. I mean, to be quite honest. So with that being said, I'll go ahead and wrap this one up. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and leave a comment and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more tech videos, programming, software engineering, and all that jazz. And if you're on LinkedIn, just make sure you go ahead and follow. That's it. Always keep coding, guys, and take care.